Hi, I'm Dena from Dena's Healthy You. Thank you for sharing the health with me. And today I'm making rolled stuffed chicken. So I try to make it real easy and convenient. So I have someone at the grocery store pound the chicken flat for me. So that takes one step away. This is organic air-chilled chicken. I do not cut corners on meat products, ever. I always either am having grass-fed or air-chilled chicken, organic. Okay, so I use a couple things to put in the chicken. I use soy sauce cheese. I don't do a lot of soy products. Basically, I use coconut milk and almond milk. In every other area, I'm using coconut and almond and so many other different kind of nut milks and flours that I do use soy sauce cheese because I think it's the best one. It melts the best. I do not like the rice cheeses. I think that they taste like plastic, personally. That's my personal preference. I also use either bacon bits. These are the natural, no steroid, no antibiotic, hormone-free bacon bits from Whole Foods. Or you can certainly cook up your own bacon or use no bacon. If you're vegetarian, you could use, I think it's called fakin' bacon. I've chopped up here leek, and what I do is I didn't save a leek, but I'll cross hatch it and then chop real small. So I did leek. Now I'll do shiitake mushrooms. So I just kind of took off the stems and cut them all like this. Now shiitakes I love. They're a medicinal mushroom. So they are actually good for us. They're not, typically I'm not a huge mushroom fan, only because they usually offer so much fungus and mold and yeast, which we all have problems with anyway. So shiitake and maitake are actually the medicinal type of mushroom. Now I'll do greens. So I will do either Swiss chard. Kale I find to be a little hard, so I already washed this. I just rip the stems right off, and like I said, I make it real easy. Okay, so I'm going to move my chicken to one side. Okay, so I make it real easy, and I'll just chop this up just like this. Now I'll cook all this in one pot with really good quality olive oil, and I saute it first. Okay, so now follow me over to the stove. So I'm heating up the oil. I'm going to throw in the leek. And leek is just a little less obtrusive than onion. Oh, and my favorite seasoning, one of my favorite seasonings I actually get from a little Italian grocer down the street, Poetta's. It comes from Bologna, Italy. It's sea salt and all natural ingredients, all organic. I'll take a wooden spoon and stir up my leek. Now leek, with that seasoning on it, is so delicious. It's so yummy that honestly, you could just use this and put it on top of steak. You could put it on top of brown rice. You could put just this with the Swiss chard, just greens with Swiss chard, with kale, with leek on top of brown rice pasta. It's delicious. Leek doesn't take as long as onion to cook. It's a lot quicker. So now we're going to mix the mushrooms. Now we're going to take the Swiss chard and we're going to throw it in. And Swiss chard cooks down pretty quick and pretty small. And you don't want to kill it because you're already going to be cooking it again when you bake it inside the chicken. So the last thing you want to do is pulverize the food. You see how it's still alive and it's just bright green? It's delicious. Okay, so here we have our chicken. We have the leek and the mushroom and the greens that we just cooked. We have our chicken, we have the cheese that's going to go in here, and we have the bacon bits. You might want to take a little bit of seasoning, not a lot because there's seasoning in here as well. And then you put a little bit inside. So it's like a little bit of an assembly line, right? You can put this. Now you can also put some fresh basil or fresh cilantro, whatever your family likes. Okay, you can also put sun-dried tomatoes. Get creative, have some fun with it. Voila. So here's the rolled chicken. here's the kicker. At the end, you use this vegetable bouillon cube. It's by Rapunzel. It's my favorite. It's just all herbs and sea salt. That's all it is. And by the way, sea salt, people, is actually good for you. It's the minerals that our body's depleted in. When our bodies are in perfect balance, they're the exact same mineral content as the sea. So there's nothing wrong with some sea salt. I'm going to put a little paprika on the top. I'm going to cover it for the first about half hour until it starts to get white. You know, when chicken cooks, it starts to get a little white. I'm going to cover it up and putting it on 350 in the oven. Then, when it starts to get white and really almost done, I'll uncover it. And that's when the paprika comes into play because it'll start to get a little brown and crisp. It's delicious. So it really takes about a good, maybe 45 minutes. Taste that.
Okay.
What makes it is the sauce. Like, I cooked it in, how good is that?
It's really good.
Isn't that amazing? Okay, so Swiss chard, leek, bacon bits, and soy sauce cheese.
It's really moist.
It's really moist, isn't it?
It's really good.
What makes it moist is the soup, is putting in the bouillon cube with the water. So here's what it looks like. It's like really liquidy in there. Anyway, thank you for joining us. Thank you for sharing the health with us, and have a happy holiday. It's not fattening, that's the beauty of it.